Start creating your dream character and becoming who you actually are meant to be. I'm Maxwell, and I help teach young men find purpose in life. And if you're anything like me, you either hate yourself or you used to hate a version of yourself until you found self improvement. And if you're not on self improvement or taking any actionable steps to become a better version of yourself, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you look into the mirror, if you go throughout your life and you complain that, oh, maybe I don't get enough girls, I'm lonely, people don't respect me, I wear nothing but rags and kind of walk around with my head down on the ground, you need to become the man that you are meant to be. How I was raised from a very young age was just this idea pounded into my head of I must become the best version of myself. When I was 15 years old, frankly, I've been depressed for years at that point. I was consuming so much content. I'd wake up, I was homeschooled, like, so I could spend the whole day just taking in pleasures. So I'd get out of bed. I don't know if I had a phone, but I would play video games, watch anime, eat junk food all day long. I just stayed in my room over and over and over again, and I fell deeper and deeper into my depression until I couldn't handle it, and one day I just snapped. Luckily, nothing bad happened, but I thought to myself, I need to become someone that is better than this. I am not happy with who I am. So then I had to build this dream idea of who I was meant to be and reverse engineer the steps to get there. So this actually goes into the actionable steps I have for you. And the first actionable step I have for you is don't be content with who you are right now. Of course, it's good to be satisfied with what you have going on in life. That can be a good mental health thing. But let's be honest. Are you content with being a fucking loser? To have a room that smells of cum because you are addicted to that? Are you content with that? No. So the first step I have for you is to use anger, hate, these really strong emotions that you feel but you hide deep inside of you. Of course, not to get overwhelmed by it, but you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I am so tired that I have been pathetic, that I'm not the man that I am supposed to be, that I don't get the girls, that I don't have the money, that I don't have the physique, the respect, whatever it is that you are not content with, you get angry. Of course, this is my little mini tip in this first step, is to be satisfied with the progress you made. Because if you just end up hating yourself, which that is kind of this first step, is to start hating, to not be satisfied with who you are in this time and place, is to start hating it, but don't hate yourself. We will get into the actual steps of goal setting and making the progress, but first, hate who you are right now, and then praise every step that you make of progress. So you're not happy with who you were, but be so happy of the steps you start to make. And that brings us into the second step, which is setting a goal. Having the idea of who do you want to be. That's something that you have to decide, whether that's a career, a purpose, a passion. But let's just use this generalization of a masculine man. So when I first got on self-improvement, I kind of built this idea of who I want to be. I looked up to people like James Bond and other movie characters that are just so badass, masculine. They have amazing clothes on. They're good with women. And I thought, how can I reverse engineer who they are and become a version of them in my own way? So I started getting into the gym because I was scrawny. I started talking to girls because I didn't know how to do that. I started trying to fix my mental health because I was tired of being depressed. I wanted to be a happy person. Just those three things changed my life. Kind of look maxing, fixing my mental health, and having good hobbies and habits. And that really changed my life. So I set the goal of, all right, this is the dream version of myself. I wrote down a list of everything I don't want to do. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to drink. I don't want to have any of these bad habits. I wrote down individual things that I just don't want to do. And then I made the list of things that I should be doing. And I would look at it daily of this goal in mind of don't do this instead. And when I took the actionable steps of becoming who I wanted to be, so I had one piece of paper of the things I should do and shouldn't do, and the other one was the piece of paper of this is my dream self. I got really in detail, so like where I want to live, how exactly my body wants to be, what I want to be doing, so forth, how I would interact in certain scenarios, and I just reverse engineered. And then kind of into the third actionable step is once you have the goal, once you build that idea and you say, okay, this is what I'm not going to do, this is what I'm going to do instead, you take actionable steps every single day. I believe in pursuing a purpose 1 hour a day, every single day, minimum, until you can dissolve your entire life around a passion. But when it became to turn into a new character, you have to make the little steps. And that comes in the conscious decisions in every moment. If you have a version of a higher self and a lower self, you have to pick the better option every single time. So you can't just relax in your instinct like people say of, oh, you want to get girls, just be yourself. Well, guess what? Yourself doesn't get any girls. So you pick up game, you watch people get girls, and you add that into your life, add little flares of your own personality and instinct. And then after making so many conscious decisions in the moment to pick the higher self, the self that gets the reward that you want, eventually that becomes instinct. But in the early steps, you have to make the conscious decision, or else you'll be standing there thinking, oh fuck, I don't like who I am because I couldn't get what I wanted. You stand there in the mirror high or drunk and you think, what am I doing with my life? I didn't make the right decisions and now I'm here regretting it. And you play this thing in your head of, oh, I could be making the right decisions and be in a whole different point in my life right now. So it starts with consciousness. And before I end this video off, is identity change. This video has maybe been all over the place, but when it comes to building a new character of who you want to be, it has to come up here. You have to truly believe you are changed, so you quit your bad habits and you become, once you delude yourself with the ideas of this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm not doing, this is my goal, this is my dream, one day it will just click after all the bullshitting you're doing to yourself, and you will say, oh my gosh, I am finally that man. I am finally the guy who doesn't jerk off or drink or smoke. I am the guy who just gets girls, work out, has passion. And it is a beautiful moment when you finally change. But during this hardship, the grind against the grain, one day you will get there and you will smile because you put in all the hard work. So please, go out there and do this. I'm Maxwell. I help teach young men find purpose in life. I'd appreciate if you like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video.